Hi, this is Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. Welcome to my channel, and I hope you've had a wonderful holiday. Well, here's the thing. Christmas happened, and I fell in. Basically, I feel so bad that I didn't get all 20 of the 20 days of Christmas out. I think I just needed to be a little bit more realistic. Next year, I think we'll do a more realistic 12 days. To do 20, be a worship leader in charge of everything at church over Christmas, it was just a little more than I could do, and I was not realistic with myself, and I apologize to you for that, and hopefully you'll understand. I think most of us who sew understand what it's like to have a list this long and not being able to get to the end of it by Christmas. So I don't know. Did you leave anything? Did you have things you had to finish up after Christmas? Let me know. I'll feel a lot better if you say yes, because I am still sewing a few things for Christmas on the 28th. But, you know, I look at it this way. My granddaughters are going to have something to open on Monday when they come over. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a second wave of Christmas presents, I guess. I would have liked to have gotten everything done, but I was a little overzealous in what I thought I could do. What I wanted to do today is just show you all my Christmas makes, and maybe that'll give you some ideas for next year. A lot of these were things that would have been one of the 20 days, so I won't spend a lot of time on the things I've already shown you, but I'll mention them just for to kind of do an overview of what I did. I have a lot of plans for this channel in 2020, so please stay tuned. One of the things we're going to do is I'm going to do one indie designer at a time and go through, make at least 2 or 3 of their things out of their catalog, and then I'm going to come up with an objective way to sort of rate them. And if you would like to do that along with me, then we'll really be able to give a good rating to people who might be considering. So kind of like what we did with the cardigans, I'm trying to figure out some objective things that we can point to. So if you'd like to be part of that, you know, follow along, and we can use the community tab to polls, and I can use some polls and things like that too, so we can actually see a real good overview of you know, how we would rate one indie designer. And some of them might be better for a certain body type than others. So that's another thing that we can find out about all these. So that's my goal. I'm going to go one at a time. You all know that Love Notions is my favorite pattern company. I'll start with them, and we'll move on to, I want to look at patterns for pirates. I want to look at Made for Mermaids. Ellie Mac is another one of my favorites. I want to look at Helen's Closet, and just the list goes on. Tilly and the Buttons. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to, you know, go through them. Maybe take a week to 2 weeks on each one, and then we'll all come up with like our top 10 list or whatever of indie pattern designers. The pros, the cons. They're all going to have some cons. They're all going to have some pros. But we'll see if the pros outweigh the cons. And I think for most of them they will. But I just kind of wanted to, I've been wanting to do that myself. So I thought maybe that's a journey we could take together. So the thing about Christmas is it comes whether you're done or not. And on the 23rd, I was still sewing at 3 a.m. My husband popped his head into my sewing room here and said, he actually turned off the light on me and said, "You're going to bed." So that was probably wise of him, because in years past I've done an all-nighter and then been just too exhausted to enjoy Christmas. So I actually was grateful in the end that he did that. And what I was making at the time were some boyfriend cardies for my granddaughters, which are here and are going to be sewn up later today. So just, you know, I made, in December, I made 22 items. So if that tells you how busy the sewing got for me. Another thing that happened to me was, and I don't want to dwell on this because I don't like dwelling on negative anything, but as you know, I fell down the stairs in San Antonio and I re-injured an old back injury, and that has reared its ugly head in a big way and has slowed me down considerably. Anyway, excuses. But I assure you that I'm doing well, and I have big plans for this channel this year. So what I did make this year, as you know, I showed you the crayon roll-ups. I ended up making actually 4 of the ones for crayons and 3 of the ones for colored pencils. And I'll tell you what, the kids loved them. In one case, it was a favorite gift, which was really weird because it doesn't really cost anything. I used scraps. So I am doing, once these are done, which will be today, 3 boyfriend cardigans. And I chose, for my little Ada, I chose this horse print because she loves horses. And for Naomi, who's 10, she loves anything teal or mint. So I have this teal floral that I'm using for hers. And Eve is such a graceful young lady. She's 12 next month. And I chose these butterflies for hers. And these will be done this afternoon. So that's what I was doing at 3 a.m. when he came in and told me to go to bed. Another thing I made were some Zip It hoodies, the Zip It pattern from Ellie Mac, which turned out to be a great pattern. What I really loved about it was that the entire hoodie was lined, and so there was no binding or anything on the hood. It was just all enclosed and wonderfully lined. So that was really cool. You actually pulled the whole garment through at the sleeves before putting the cuffs on. And so that's how it was all enclosed. It's a really, really nice pattern, and I will be making more of those. So I made 2 of those, and I used this truck fabric that, the same truck fabric that you'll see I used on some jammies for my nephew's little boy. So that piece of fabric got me 4 gifts. It was, I think, 2.5 to 3 yards. I can't remember which, but I got jammies, 2 hoodies, and a baby gift out of that cut of fabric. So that was pretty good. I made the Love Notions dock side for both my son and son-in-law, and they turned out really well. They liked them. And what I really liked about that pattern, it's very versatile. You can do crew neck, you can do Henley, or you can do polo. So one pattern gets you a lot of options. And that's one of the things about Love Notions, is that they have tons and tons of options for every pattern that they have. The Ellie Mac Breezy is a great pattern. So the breezy top, I made one for myself, and the girls kind of liked it. So I made them each one for Christmas. My daughter, I made her a coral floral one, and my daughter-in-law, I made a black floral one. And I also made a wine-colored floral one for her, for my daughter-in-law, whose birthday was on the 21st of December. I hadn't intended on making 2 things the same for her birthday and Christmas. But when I gave her birthday one, she came into church the next day wearing it and said, I need more of these. So although I was going to cut out a blackwood cardigan with the black floral, I decided to go ahead and make her another breezy top, and she was thrilled. Now on the non-sewing end, a few crafts that I did do this Raise a Hallelujah sign for my brother. It's his favorite song, and it was real important to him as he was going through his surgery. So I took it and I designed it with word art, and I used my silhouette, and rather than cutting vinyl and putting it on the wood, I wanted it to look rustic, so I cut it out as a stencil and painted it. So it turned out great. He loved it, and it just fit into a suitcase to get it down to Texas, but was able to fit it. I did a lot of vinyl on t-shirts. I did a guitar t-shirt, a Photoshop saying, one of my favorite ones, Photoshop helping the ugly since 1986. I love that. I had a shirt like that when I was first starting my photography business, and my little not little anymore, my young nephew, my niece's son, he's actually almost 18, and when he he's a budding photographer, so I made the Photoshop t-shirt for him. I did a couple with these drums in a cross pattern. I did a music t-shirt and a Girls Are All Superheroes t-shirt. I did a Pac-Man t-shirt and a Star Wars t-shirt. So there was a lot of that going on as well. I did Grow With Me jammies in the truck fabric for my nephew's little boy. And I did a Bloomsbury dress for his little sister, and then the Acorn vest by Love Notions for over it. And the vest was a win-win. I loved it. She loved it. It's real cuddly and soft, and the fabric was given to me. My daughter's mother-in-law was destashing and gave me a bunch of things that were only big enough for really little kids, and said, you know, just go ahead and make stuff with them. And so I used that, and it was wonderful. I did make a zippered pouch and a journal. You've seen those if you saw the first couple of 20 days videos. I made a Blackwood cardigan for my mom and one for my sister-in-law. I did a lavenderish pink one for my mother-in-law with the lace overlay, and then for my sister-in-law I did a red double brush poly from Joanne. That print, I walked through Joanne, I saw that print, and I knew it had to be for her. Just loved it. And a North Star pullover for my stepbrother, which I am also finishing. So I did pretty well. I did make a lot of things, and even though I have a few things to finish up, I don't feel overwhelmed by that at all at this point. I sure did the day before Christmas, but at this point I feel really good about everything. So I took my time and accomplished 90% of what was on my list. So the sad thing is there wasn't a lot of time left to film, and my apologies for that. The Christmas program at church took a lot of my time, and I wouldn't trade that for anything either. Everything I was doing was worthwhile, including this channel, but sort of something had to give there in the last week or two before Christmas. So I apologize for my absence. I also was not moving as fast as I normally do because of my injuries. So hopefully you understand, and maybe have even been there. So I thank you so much for that. In the coming weeks, like I said, we're going to do some indie designers and see how we like those. I have a sew along to finish with the men's shirt. I realize that has one more step that we need to finish. I have filmed already a Blackwood cardigan sew along that will go up, and lots of plans, and we'll be doing a winter shop and sew soon as well. So I have a lot of plans for the channel this winter and into the spring. I'm going to Mexico in March, so I'll be doing a vacation capsule at some point, and would love your input on that. So anyway, just a quick update on where I've been, what I've been doing, and more to come. So stay tuned. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so very much. And if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you get notified of videos when I post them. Thank you so much. Have a Merry Christmas. I know it's over, but we're all still Christmasing, aren't we? Even though it's over, we're still in the mode. And Happy New Year. I hope you have wonderful New Year plans. I do. I'm going to be playing cards with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and we are going to just stay in. We're going to go out and eat somewhere real nice, and then just stay in for the evening and play cards. So it sounds like a wonderful night to me. And on New Year's Day, my husband and I are going to veg out and watch football. As am I tonight. Tonight, my Buckeyes are playing. They're playing Clemson. So go Bucks. And I hope I'm still smiling after that game tonight. And whatever happens, obla-dee, obla-da. They will either win or they will lose. So anyway, have a wonderful evening. Happy New Year. I will see you in a couple days. Happy sewing.